How you doing? It's Craig Bennett, aka CashKeg here with another Prize Picks video. I'll break down, give you some of my favorite Prize Picks. Like these videos, want me to keep knocking them out? We've been on a roll. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Before we dive into it, I'm gonna rant a little bit. I know you see the sign behind me says no tilting. Stop tilting. Well, I'm gonna tilt not because a player did bad, because Jimmy Butler and the referee Courtney Kirkland should not ref in the NBA anymore if he is that soft. I have no idea what he did. But if you watch the film, if you go back and check Twitter, check YouTube, pull it up last night, Jimmy Butler went in for a basket. He got fouled. He felt like he was getting fouled all game, got right in the ref's face, really deserved that technical. Just let him know that, hey, that's a foul. Wow, you need to be calling them all game. Blew off steam. Walking away from that ref, here comes Kirkland. Here comes Courtney. Comes right there, gives him a second tee on the same play, and ejects him. The game's not about you, man. The game's not about the ref. If you are talked about in that game, then you shouldn't be reffing. Like, you did a bad job. Because if you did a great job, you wouldn't be talked about. It just absolutely tilts me when you see stuff like that. Think about like maybe your kid going to your first Miami game, right? And you want to see Jimmy Butler. Well, I only got to see 15 minutes of him because for whatever reason, Kirkland was having a bad day and decided to eject him for no reason. So it's not so much about losing the bet like that. It's more about just I can't stand when refs do that. We saw it just a couple games ago with Kyle Lowry, spinning that ball to the ref and getting the double tech and thrown out. It's just ridiculous, and it needs to stop. It's like if you're gonna be that soft, find another profession to do. It's like Jimmy Butler's only been it's the second game he's ever been kicked out on technical fouls, which is like it's not in his MO. So just had to rant a little bit. Just irritates me a little bit. But like I said, we'll jump into these picks. Small 3-game slate, so we'll jump in. I'll talk a little bit about them. Talk about that new points, rebounds, and assists, which is really awesome. And then hopefully help you win some money on Thursday. Let's jump into it. All right, as you can see on the screen, I have some of my favorite plays here. We'll talk about them. I got 4 up here on the board, and we'll talk about a few more other ones. But again, small 3-game slate. I would play light. But we'll talk about my favorite 2 here. I'm going to go. The first one's going to be Herb Jones over 11.5 points. This pick, he's just been super consistent. Herb Jones has went over this in 6 of his last 6 games. It's just Devontae Graham is questionable as well. In these last 5, 16, 13, 14, 14, 13. If we go back before that, 13, 9, 11, 14, 26, 15. Super consistent. That 11.5 is just too low. I mean, he just constantly gets there. If Devontae Graham is out, even going up against the Knicks, I can see him, continue to put up those numbers. So I do like that over 11.5. Second one we got here is we're going to look at Brandon Ingram over 5.5 assists. This is another one where it's just too low, and especially if Graham sits, right? He's hit this number the last 4 out of his last 5 games. If you go back before that, he's hit this last 7 of his last 8 games. If we go back before these 5 games, he's hit it in 6, 5, 7. So continue to move the ball around. Like I said, if we don't have any Devontae Graham, it's only going to have the ball in his hands a little bit more. So 5 assists feels a little light. I think it should be closer to 6. So I like to jump on this one a little bit. Next one we're going to look at here, we're going to go to the points, rebounds, and assists. As you can see this, it's basically, if you don't know this, if you don't play on sports books, if you don't know what this is at, it's just basically adding up the points, rebounds, and assists. They have to hit that total regardless, however they're going to get there. The one we're going to look at here is Josh Hart. That's the one that I like the most out of this group here. We'll talk about a few other ones, but Josh Hart's going to play a ton of minutes. He plays upper 30s minutes every night. Again, if Graham is out, it's just going to boost that even a little more. But one of these things at 24.5 just is too low. Last game he had 26. Last game before that he had 27. Then down to 20, but then up to 35, and then 20, and then he had 31. So he's hit this last 5 out of his last 7 games, and he just plays heavy minutes, And so if Graham is out again, all these guys are going to get a nice little boost. So I do like the Jones and Ingram play a little bit more, but I don't mind Josh Hart. And if you don't like the Ingram assist, I like the Ingram over points, rebounds, and assist as well. It's something that he's continued to crush as well. He's hit it in the last 4 out of his last 6 games. And the 2 that he missed, he was at 31 points, rebounds, and assists. So he's right at this number, and the 2 that he missed. So I don't mind that over as well. If I had to look here a little bit, Chris Paul in a competitive game, I do like that over 26.5. Not something that I still prefer the Ingram and the Hart one, but in a competitive game against Dallas, which should have some points scored, I don't mind this 26.5. It feels a little light. He doesn't score a ton. He's not going to put, he does his assist there. Like, as we see the number 4 pick here that I have on the board is Chris Paul over 9 assists. Now he's hit or been at this number the last 4 games, 12, 6, 9, 12 assists. But before that, 7 assists, 10, 15, 16. Anytime a game's competitive and he's got to, be involved, and with Booker, if the big thing is Booker's threes going down, Chris Paul assist numbers are going to be up. I do think it helps a lot with Cam Johnson with his threes. So having Cam Johnson in there, Chris Paul assist numbers over 9, I like that. And like I said, the points, rebounds, and assists is another one that I think you have to consider in this. So as you look through these here, another one that I was kind of looking at is Evan Fournier over 20.5 points, rebounds, assists. He's kind of more shot dependent than anything else, and Walker kind of worries me a little bit. Herb Jones, another one, over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. The one thing with him is he basically scores. But if we look at the last few games in this point, rebounds, and assists, he's had 17, 20, 23, 15. So he's hit it in 3 out of his last 4 games. I do feel better about the points because that's generally what he does. He does get you some blocks and steals, but he doesn't get you too many assists. Does get you some rebounds, but I think with Josh Hart there, he's going to steal some of those rebounds. So I just love him more on the scoring side. But if you wanted to consider him, and then Klay Thompson, 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, his minutes are going to go up a little bit here. He's coming back from the injuries, been out for so long. His minutes have kind of creeped up. He's 20, 20, 21, 23, 22. But the last game put up 22 minutes, ended up putting up 28 points, rebounds, and assists. And he's only going to continue to keep going here. So that one's a little interesting for me at that 21.5. We go look at the points and kind of see what's going on. Klay Thompson over 14.5. I love this. I mean, the minutes are going to go up. He's going to continue to shoot. I don't mind taking the over on this at all. Again, he hit at 21 in that last game. The minutes are not going to be there, but he's taking 13, 14, 11, 13, 18 shots in the 5 games that he's been back. He hits 40% from the field here. We figure he's going to shoot probably 16 to 17 shots here in this game against Indy. They're hurting. They're really hurting for bodies. They're beat up. They should be able to do about whatever they want to. So I don't mind taking some shots here. Just realize that the minutes are probably not going to be there. If the game gets out of control, they're not going to push him at any stretch of the imagination. And he'll probably only see around 23, 24 minutes as it is. But we all know he's a shooter, and he could get there in the first quarter for you. So one of those things. So with that, again, very quick breakdown. Small 3-game slate. We got a lot of NBA tomorrow where there's 11 games, so we'll break down, have a lot more games like this. On these small slates like this, I just tend to pick 1 or 2 plays that I really like and kind of go heavier on those and then focus on the big slates where we can really find some value. But I want to keep knocking these videos out. If you like them, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Lets me know you want me to keep doing these PrizePicks videos. And hopefully we'll continue to help you make some money. And with that, I'll see you on the flip side. Deuces.